Yes.
All right. A farmer has 15 sheep. All but 8 of them die. How many are left? Well, do you know the answer?
The actual answer?
The actual answer.
I know I've heard it, but I don't know it right now.
Do you want some time to think about it? Would you like me to repeat it?
All but 8 of them die.
A farmer has 15 sheep. All but 8 of them die. How many are left? Keep it simple. Remember, this is simplicity training. Take it literally. Keep it simple. A farmer has 15 sheep. All but 8 of them die. How many are left?
Oh, 8. Right.
Thank you. See how long that took?
Yeah.
All right. Since you enjoy math so much, we're going to take you on another little journey, if you don't mind playing along.
Please.
All right. What's your name?
Matthew.
All right, Matthew. All right. Are you ready?
Yes.
All right. No one use a calculator for this. Do it in your head. All right? All right?
Okay.
All right. You're driving a bus. It already has 15 passengers on it. You arrive at your first stop. 6 people get on, 2 people get off. You go to the next stop. 7 people get on, 3 people get off. You go to the next stop. 10 people get on, 4 people get off. You go to the next stop. 5 people get on, 10 people get off. What's the bus driver's name? What's the bus driver's name?
I don't know.
You forgot your own name? Didn't I say you were driving the bus?
Very good, thank you.
You get the point?
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you for volunteering. This teaches you something about distraction. All right?
My wife counted the number of people that got on and off and came up with 24.
That's all well and good. Of course, that wasn't the question.
Probably an accurate answer.
It may be. Now, will you pull the next number? Yes, it is. And all the 14s with it.
All the 14s with it. Okay, wow. Right. So the first one I just told says laws as states.
Yes.
And then we will reveal. Should I read them off as I'm reading them?
Absolutely.
Okay.
The 4 laws as states of being.
Okay, the first one is
The first law is you exist.
yes,
The first state of being, thus, then, is
oneness and being.
oneness and beingness. The second law, the one is all, the all are one. And the state of being that goes with it is
Separation and connection.
separation and connection. The third law, what you put out is what you get back. And the state of being that goes hand in hand is
Reflection and attraction.
reflection and attraction. The fourth law is change is the only constant. All things change except for the first 3 laws. And the state of being is
Action and experience.
action and experience. Thank you very much. You may sit down. This translation of the 4 laws that underlie everything in creation, translated into states of being, is what can allow you to gain a better foothold on understanding how to apply the 4 laws in your daily life. If you understand that you can apply them as states of being, allow yourself to shift into these states of being and, in a sense, combine these states of being into one overall state of being, That will be the state of your true essence, your true self, that will allow you to flow effortlessly from the idea to the manifestation, from the idea to the manifestation in physical reality. Beingness, oneness, we have already discussed. You are everything in that sense. You are one thing. One is all, the all are one. Again, a reinforcement of that idea, but through the concept of reflection. Through that concept, you understand that the one becomes the many by self-awareness, by self-reflection. One by itself has no concept of another. Thus, in that sense, in the oneness, there is actually no self-awareness. One must become all that is before one can actually become aware of itself. And once it becomes aware of itself, then there is the other. There is polarity. There is the dichotomy. There are all things that spin out from it, what you call the Big Bang, the expansion into everything that is made of the one thing. What you put out is what you get back. Again, these ideas of attraction, laws of attraction, are things that you can understand with regard to creating that resonance that will identify as, identify with, and allow that to be the experience. Allow that to be the manifestation, that which reflects back to you, exactly like a mirror, what it is you are. And the idea of change, the action that you take, the experience that you have, that is put into the soul, that changes it, that shifts it from parallel experience to parallel experience, from alternate reality to alternate reality. These state of being translations of the four laws themselves are ways in which you can apply, physically apply the four laws in your life, in thought, word, and deed, in everything you do, in every circumstance and every situation, because once again, here and now, for the first time ever, once again, we remind you, circumstances do not matter. Only your state of being matters. Circumstances do not matter. Only your state of being matters. State of being creates circumstance. Circumstance does not create state of being. You may choose to react to circumstance that creates within yourself a state of being, but you are creating the state of being. The circumstances have no power to create your state of being. Circumstances are neutral, devoid of meaning. Life itself, I remind you again for the first time, is meaningless. It has no built-in meaning. You decide the meaning. That's your gift from creation. You decide the meaning. What you put in is what you get out. What you decide the circumstances are determines what you experience and what state of being you choose to be. And when you choose to be the state of being you prefer, all circumstances can be viewed in that light and labeled in that way, thus then giving you always a positive effect in your energy. Without assumption, they must turn out a certain way. When individuals in your metaphysical community talk about the idea, expect a miracle, expect positive reality, expect this, it is not the same meaning of the word as drop your expectations. Expect and expectation is simply a way of saying know who you are, know what the state of being you are in is reflective of. And in that state of being, you know that miracles are the norm. That's what that phrase actually means in the way you have structured your language. Expectations are generally the idea of assumptions and limitations you're placing on your ability to actually expect a miracle. So, expect the unexpected and expect that you can live without expectations. The idea used in that way may make it a little clearer as to how the intention behind a similar word is actually meant to describe this mechanism. The expect the miracle is simply a state of knowingness. Expectations are belief systems and definitions that may be limiting your ability to know who and what you are. So, allow yourselves the opportunity to look at the four laws, play with the four laws as states of being, and remind yourself that the circumstances themselves, regardless of what they are there to serve you. Always there to serve you. Always what needs to be there because they are what's there. Again, keep it obvious. Keep it simple. Why is this here? It's here to serve me. How do I know that? Because it's here. Because there is no other purpose to it. How do I know there's no other purpose to it? Because I said so. Who's going to contradict me? No one. Why? Because I am all there is in my universe. There you go. Follow the thread back to the basic simplicity of the science of the obvious. I am one. If I am one, in that sense, the one thing making me, making all of us, but making me unique, making me with the ability to choose, then I can choose what I prefer. There will be no one who can contradict me because everyone else in my reality is simply my version of them. So if anyone contradicts me, I'm contradicting myself. That's all there is to it. It's a reflection. It's a reflection. And again, I am not taking away from the fact that you can play the game of objective observer, recognizing when someone may be doing something that is not similar to the vibration that you prefer. Nevertheless, the idea is that it's still created in your reality, and the only way that it feels like an objective observation is that you have been willing to simply neutralize it. It's still something you're creating in your reality, but when you neutralize its effect, when you neutral it out and know that it has not got built-in meaning, then it takes on the quality of neutrality. The quality of neutrality is what you call objectivity, even though it's still subjective. So objectivity is simply subjectivity that has been neutraled out, devoided of meaning. That's all objectivity is. You've neutralized it, taken it back to its 0 point where you're not actually automatically assigning any particular assumption to it. You're just observing it. That's what I see. That's what it is. I'm recording it. I am not reacting. I'm not responding. I'm just observing. You're still creating it, though. So it's up to you to decide then what meaning you want to give it, if any at all, and use it in your way because it's all you anyhow. That's all it is. It's all you anyhow. Doesn't take away from the fact that everyone else also exists too. This is the great paradox of creation. Each and every single one of you, when you become one with all that is, from your own point of view, every single one of you will realize that when you become one, everything is you and you are all that's left. But all of you will have that experience. You will all know yourself as the only one that's there. That's the great paradox. And that shows you the multidimensionality of all that is. So, take a deep breath, make it your own. Take another deep breath, make it your own. Take another deep breath and make it your own. Now, April, are there any pieces of paper left? Would you like to rip them off? What's under them?
Paper cup number 4. Penny, nickel, quarter.
Do you have a penny, a nickel, and a quarter?
Yes.
Place them in the channel's hand.
Almost there, Bashar.
Penny here, Nickel here, quarter there. All right. Who wants to volunteer for this one? Not all at once, please.
Well, we know we have someone that's coming.
All right.
I pointed, but I forgot that you might not see that. Oh, it's Kim.
Hello, Bashar.
And to you, good day. Take your electronic microphone device. And let us know when you are prepared.
I am prepared.
Are you sure?
Yes.
All right. Now, are you sure?
Yes.
All right. Really?
Absolutely.
All right. Thank you. Here we go. Tommy's mother has 3 children. She called the first one Penny. She called the second one Nick. What did she call the third one?
Tommy.
Thank you. Very good. You're catching on. You may sit.
Thank you.
You may, is there... You may, if you wish, rip off the 6 if you volunteer to answer it.
Okay, I'll take a chance.
All right.
Oh,
Man in black. Would you like to take the hot seat?
all right.
Thank you. No.
Okay, here I am.
All right. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Man in black. Are you
Man
ready?
in black. Okay.
Are you sure?
Yes.
All right. A man dressed all in black walks down a country road. A car, black car with no lights on, comes screaming around the corner and screeches to the halt. How did the driver see the man in the road?
It's daylight.
Thank you. Now you're catching on.
See, just had to assume that it wasn't dark outside.
Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Now you may rip the rest of them off. All right. These are any questions you may have left. Let us discuss them briefly now before we go to the next step after your break. And we will do a very interesting experiment after your break. Because after all, this is a laboratory. We have to do some experimenting, don't we? So, any questions?
Hi, Bashar.
And a you good day.
I just want to say that just in the last couple months, information has been coming into my experience, and it's been so amazing and awesome and expansive and joyful, and I'm having such an amazing time, and it's
Thank
glad
you.
to be here.
Thank you.
And as I'm going through all of this, I'm realizing that there's so much in our minds that we assume.
Yes.
And it's overwhelming trying to let it all go. And
But it's fun.
it is fun. But I wanted to ask you, like,
Yes.
we as humans are perceivers of our own reality.
Yes.
And we're also...
Well, you think you are.
Okay. And we're also limitless in our ability, or limitless in our ability to perceive and to create.
Yes.
But
Relatively speaking.
I'm having a hard time understanding, like, the word perceive in and
Yes.
of itself, kind of, there's an interpretation and understanding in that
Yes.
word.
Yes, and that's all right. Those filters, to some degree, are designed for a purpose. Remember, the higher mind conceives, the brain receives, the physical mind perceives. That's its job. It experiences the physical manifestation. It experiences what happens. Doesn't know how it's going to happen, but it experiences what happens and knows what happened. That is perception. That reflection of the physical experience is perception. Now, you don't always even perceive everything that's happening in your physical reality. Again, because of many of the ideas that you carry with you, many of the definitions, many of the beliefs. But that's all right. This is all about forming a harmonious linkage with your higher self so that you can open up your perception and perceive more of the reality that is germane for you to become more of who you are as best as you can be in physical reality, to serve the purpose of the exploration of the theme you chose to explore. So perception is really all about what it is in the moment you are engaged with regard to your perception, how you respond, how you act on that, and how you choose to change yourself based on that experience. That's what perception is all about in the fullest sense. Does that make sense?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm wondering how as we continue to grow, we can continue to release all of the assumptions and underlying beliefs so that when we interpret and understand as we perceive, we can do it with less reaction and more creation.
Well, as we have been discussing, the first thing you do, one of the first things you can do, is to neutralize everything. Know that whatever happens, it doesn't have a built-in meaning. The only time you ever react to anything is when you've already supplied an automatic meaning to it. Do you know the word aglet?
No.
I didn't ask you. Do you know the word aglet?
No, I don't.
All right. You don't really have an emotional reaction to it, do you?
No.
You don't really know what to think of it.
No.
All right. But you know the word stupid.
Yes.
You feel yourself reacting to that a little bit.
Correct.
So the idea is that the only reason you react to one word and not the other is because you don't have a definition for the first word. So all reactions come from the fact that you already have a built-in definition. So the first thing to do in any circumstance, in any situation, is remember the circumstance doesn't matter. Nothing has built-in meaning. It's just a neutral prop. Once you have neutralized it with that understanding, then you get to decide what meaning it has. You can assign the meaning you prefer. And when you do that, you will expand your growth potential and you will be able to perceive more broadly. Okay. You follow?
I do. I'm wondering how you can take that a step further and like think of like gravity or something like physical properties that we're so convinced have a reality when I know that they only have a reality because I'm giving them a reality. How do I go beyond that?
Well, all right. Again, the thing to understand is that certain general consensus reality ideas such as gravity are unlikely to be, shall we say, overcome by you unless there is truly a driving need and purpose in your theme exploration that they ought to be. Because again, the idea is that for most of you, for the vast majority of you, all the kinds of themes you actually did choose to explore on Earth need to be explored with your feet on the ground without having to worry about floating off into space. So you abide by the general theme of gravity so you can get on about the business of exploring the actual theme you really prefer to focus on. I'm not saying you can't cancel that out, but the idea is that for most of you, it's just not that important to go that far.
So the trick is just to be an allowing being always.
Yes, and discern what is really important in your life in terms of the exploration of your theme, and that really usually is told to you by the opportunities that show up synchronistically that contain the highest degree of passion. If you find yourself becoming ecstatically, crazily passionate about the idea of creating anti-gravity, then that might tell you something about your ability to achieve that. But if that's not really what, as you say, floats your boat, then it's not necessarily going to be something you're going to do in this life.
Okay.
So why spend time focusing on that when the thing that could actually be instrumental in calling your passion to the forefront and fanning the flames of your passion is right there in front of you in one of the choices that's presented it to you at any given moment?
Got it.
Make sense?
Absolutely. Thank you so much.
And by the way, an aglet is the little plastic tip on the end of a shoelace.
I'm not reacting to that at all.
I know.
Good day, Bashar.
And good day to you.
I would like to ask a personal question. So not so interesting for the rest, but...
no judgment.
No judgment.
You have no idea how others may be able to get something out of what you have to say. Are you not all one? Are you not all connected?
That's right.
All right. Don't prejudge that what you have to say isn't going to be valuable to someone else.
Okay, thank you for that.
Thank you.
I have a real problem with feeling at ease.
A challenge.
Yeah, okay, thank you. I feel ill at ease.
And you don't know why.
I don't know why.
All right.
And it's really
Are you
tiring
ill
me.
at ease with everything in your life? Or
No.
is there something you are not ill at ease with?
There
Something you are at peace with? Anything.
anything.
Is there anything you're comfortable with where you don't find yourself ill at ease?
Sure.
What?
My passion for mathematics.
Your passion for mathematics. All right. Now, in that, you do not feel ill at ease at all, correct?
Well,
Oh, you feel ill at ease there too?
not for the passion, but for my skill.
Your skill, I see.
Could be better.
Well, all right. Well, is your skill not something that you can learn to improve?
Sure.
Well, then why do you feel ill at ease about it?
Because
Are you describing the concept of a desire to know more as being ill at ease? Or is it truly just a desire to know more, but you're simultaneously judging yourself for what you don't know yet?
for me, I project the level of enjoyment with my skill. The more skill I have, the more I can see, the more I
All
can
right,
act, and
all
the
right.
more I can enjoy it.
Then if you have associated the idea that the more skill you have, the more enjoyable your passion is, wouldn't you be passionate about acquiring more skill?
Yes, but that keys in with my unrest in the sense that my energy is drained all
Why?
the time because I don't feel at ease. Because
But you're creating a
sensitive.
vicious circle for yourself. I don't feel at ease, so I can't do this and I can't do this because I feel ill at ease. You're creating a vicious cycle.
But for instance, sensitivity to sound,
Yes.
and so that's making.
Are you describing a physical ill at ease or an emotional or psychological
I believe
ill at
it to
ease?
be all psychological, but it translates in being sensitive to sound and neighbors making sounds when I'm asleep.
Thank you. Thank you. May I ask you a question?
Sure.
Do you believe that there can be such a thing as something that doesn't belong in your reality?
Yes and no.
Well, what's the yes part?
The yes part is that if everything is holistic, then everything has its place. And
And then what's the no part?
the no part is that I can see maybe that my experience is valuable, but I don't prefer it anymore.
All right, but not preferring something, or more positively stated, preferring something else, is a recognition that preferring something else does not require you to invalidate what you no longer prefer. You may be invalidating what you no longer prefer, and in so doing, invalidating a part of yourself and making yourself raw, in a sense, to what it is that's there, and hypersensitive to it. When you move ahead, you cannot invalidate where you've been. You cannot invalidate what you are just because you prefer to be something else. Anytime you invalidate where you are, you're actually removing your ability to go somewhere else, because it's like removing a stepping stone.
I understand, but that means that I don't understand what it is telling me. So that
What it is telling you is that there are portions of your own being that you are invalidating, that you don't find worthy.
okay.
You need to find out what those are and why you believe that there are aspects of your being that are not worthy. Because the invalidation is simply a projection on the outside world from an inner belief.
Okay. And this has to do with childhood experience or something?
For most of you, this is the case, where you are spoon-fed ideas that reduce your sense of value. And thus you don't even necessarily know that you've swallowed those beliefs until you get older and as an adult get to a place where you now need to rely on tools you suddenly find have been sabotaged. And suddenly it can manifest in all sorts of ways, including such things as hypersensitivity to things. Because you've never really been given the tools to boost yourself up. So you need to explore what those tools were you were given and how they don't serve you, and find and replace them with some tools that do with regard to your own self-worth. I would therefore suggest, well, when was the last time you took a vacation?
I'm on one now.
You are? Oh, all right. Is there something you're going to be doing on this vacation that you would consider the most relaxing and self-pampering thing you can do?
Not really. It's a bit work, physical work.
I am going to recommend and suggest, if you want it to be, I'll write a prescription from Dr. Bashar. You don't have to take it. I'm not forcing you to do anything. But I would strongly suggest that on this vacation, you forget about work and actually do something that's simply, purely enjoyable, playful, like a kid. Just have some fun. Have someone do something for you that's pampering, treating you nice, taking the load off, serving you, eating good food, sleeping in late, not rushing to get anywhere, not having to be anywhere, not having to do anything. Take a real vacation. I'm not saying you don't enjoy your work, but in terms of getting in touch with some of these issues we're talking about, you actually need some real quiet, relaxing time to actually get in touch with those things, because sometimes, no matter how much you may enjoy the work is glossing over things that you need some quiet to be able to actually hear. And that's part of the reason why you're hypersensitive to sound. It's a symbol that's telling you need to be in a quiet place so that you can actually really hear what it is you need to hear, which is within you. So in the sense, everything else irritates you, so you'll start going to some place where there is no sound, and that's what's going to serve you best to hear what you really need to hear. Because the little voice within you is very quiet and subtle, and you really need to hear it and stop letting it get drowned out by all the other sounds around you. All right?
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Hi, Bashar.
And to you, good day.
Good day. I recently was in China when the big earthquake took place.
Oh, all right. How exciting for you.
Well, fortunately, I was not right there where the real trouble was.
Well, again, your vibration will always guide you to where you need to be, so that if there is something you do not need to experience, you will not.
That was on a very aware level, yes.
Okay.
Then when I came home, I found an email that was reporting on an organization called AARP. They are based in Alaska.
All right.
They do all kinds of experiments by sending big microwaves
Yes, I understand.
into the universe.
I understand. We will go no further with this at this time.
Okay.
Because this is not really about the idea right now of what kinds of technology many people on your planet may be using that might or might not have a detrimental effect on your planet. Certainly such things do exist. The idea is, once again, to recognize that you are your governments. It's time for a change, so make a change. All right?
Okay.
All
Thank
right.
you.
Thank you. At this time, we would suggest that you take your second recess break, go out in the yard and play, and when we return, we are going to do a very interesting experiment. Thank you very much. Go and play.
Kim Mercelli was here last time, and he played a musical instrument called the hung. And I'd like to introduce you to Kim. And it's quite an interesting instrument because it's recently been created. It wasn't really on the planet before, or at least it wasn't in the reality that we were in, and now we've shifted to a parallel reality where the hung exists. So, and it kind of looks like a spaceship, which is really interesting. but it puts out the most awesome music, and I think Bashar referred to it as the highest, one of the highest vibrational music on the planet. So we're going to have Kim play the hung, and he's going to play it while Bashar is here, so that Bashar can enjoy it from that perspective, and then we'll see what happens next. Okay?
All right, so you sec. Or it'll say vibration, resonance, immersion in a field of sound. One of the ways you can create for yourself a bubble reality unto itself, immersed in a vibration of sound. And inside that bubble reality, you can thus then touch into all the dimensions that overlap, all the dimensions that come together to create that bubble. It can, in that sense, be a 0 point that allows you to tap into whatever, whenever, wherever you wish. To that end, then, allow yourself in the creation of this sound to remember and remind yourself of all the things we have discussed here today, and use the sound to cement those things together, tie those things together, vibrate all those ideas into a harmonious resonance that matches the frequency of your highest joy. We thank you for the co-creation of this bubble reality. We thank you.
And now, Bashar, we have a little surprise for you. Since today is Father's Day, we wanted to take this opportunity to acknowledge you and to give you a gift. And this gift comes not only from me, but also from all the people who have benefited from your wisdom, your encouragement, your positive support and inspiration, and your unconditional love, which you have so generously shared with so many of us for all these years. The gift and the recognition that we are giving to you, Bashar, is actually, I have a representation of it here in my lap. And the gift we're giving to you is the naming of a star. And this star was located for us by an astronomer, and it is located in our dimension approximately 500 light years in the direction of the Orion constellation. It's 2.5 times larger than our sun, and it burns 32 times brighter. Its color is white, and it has a slight blue tinge. And this star is registered as follows. This certifies that the star having the coordinates below are hereby designated Bashar, in honor of Father's Day, on this June 15th, 2008. And it comes with an inscription, and the inscription reads, dedicated to Bashar and the Essassani civilization, in gratitude for the unconditional love and light that you shower upon our lives and our world. The brilliance of the Bashar star shines as a symbol and a beacon, illuminating the path to the bright and exciting future that we share together. Happy Father's Day, Bashar.
Touch. Thank you.
Thank you, Bashar.
Thank you. Thank you. How synchronous you are to name a star when we are also naming stars in the next experiment. Will you do the honor of reading the names when I say to do so? Yes. Thank you. First and foremost, however, all of you who wish to participate in this experiment require a piece of paper and a writing implement. A piece of paper you can hand away and don't need back. Large enough for all the numbers next to the stars. You do not need room for the names, just the numbers. We will give you time to prepare. Is there anyone who is not ready? Very well. This is how we shall proceed. When we are done, all the pieces of paper shall be handed down the row this way. Not yet. When we are done, handed down the row this way to the person on the end of each row. Then those will be collected by April. All right? Is that clear? Yes. All right. Write your numbers 1 to 15. Now, all you need to mark by the number when the time is appropriate is a Y for yes and an N for no. That is all you need to mark by any number. Y for yes, N for no. One other parameter to this experiment. Do not think about your answer. As soon as the question is asked, mark yes or no immediately, instinctively, intuitionally, automatically. Do not think about it. It does not matter at this point whether you may remember what may have been said about any of these stars in other conversations we have had. It does not matter whether you think you already know the answer or not. Whether you do or not, no matter where the yes or no comes from, just do not hesitate. Put yes or no, Y or N, after each number, one or the other, immediately as fast as you can. Is that clear? Yes. Thank you. Your response should be that quick. Now, April will, when instructed, read the number and the name of the star. I will repeat it. As soon as I repeat it, you may mark your yes or no. Because the question that is the same for all of them will be this: do you feel that there is an intelligent civilization associated with this star system? I am not speaking of the idea of just energetic beings, other dimensional beings. I am talking about an actual physical sensation of civilization as you understand it. Be it whether it more or less advanced technologically does not matter. Be it whether they have technology at all does not matter. The idea is to simply see what you feel about whether or not there is a civilization associated somewhere in the system on some world that you could actually physically go and visit if you had a craft that could travel there. Is everyone clear on the instruction? All right. Everyone take a deep breath in and let it out. Everyone take a deep breath in and let it out. Everyone take a deep breath in and let it out. All right. Read the first star. Number 1.
Sol.
Sol.
2. Prox Centauri.
Proxima Centauri. Yes.
3. Alpha Centauri.
Alpha Centauri.
4. Barnard.
Barnard star.
5. Wolf 359.
Wolf 359.
6. Luyten.
Leutens.
7. Sirius.
Sirius.
8. Ross 154.
Ross 154.
9. Ross 248.
Ross 248.
10. Epsilon Eridani.
Epsilon Eridani.
11. 61 Cygnus.
61 Cygnus.
12. Epsilon Indi.
Epsilon Indi.
13. Procyon A.
Procyon A.
14. Tau Ceti.
Tau Ceti.
15. Kruger 60.
Kruger 60. Pass your papers across. When they reach the end of the row on this side, please collect them all. Now, collect them, and once collected, hand them to the volunteers in the front row to help you. Relatively equal piles where they can check the answers. What the volunteers will do is count off how many yeses and how many nos for each one. Let me know when you have arrived at a count for each number of how many yeses and how many nos. All right?
So should we, like, if I say number 1, each volunteer will say the amount of...
You must count them up first. We will get to that point. Anyone who wishes to assist may. Now, while they are doing that, how many of you recognize number 1 as a trick question? Did anyone say no to number 1? Soul is your own star. I guess there is no intelligent life in that system. You will notice by the denotation that it is, in that sense, distance-wise, simply 8.5 light minutes away, not light years. The amount of time light takes to get from your star to the Earth is roughly 8.5 minutes. While they are counting, allow yourselves to relax. Close your eyes if you wish. And imagine the stars in the sky. As you might recall from looking at the board, the stars that are listed there are 15 of the stars that are closest to your own, ranging from about 4 light years to approximately 13. These are within galactic distances relatively close to you. in what you call your upcoming years, as you branch out from your civilization, as you create ships and become the UFOs of other civilizations, you will encounter some of the civilizations that do exist in these star systems. Some of them will be technologically more advanced. Some of them will be technologically less advanced. But that does not matter. Your relationship to them will be determined by a number of factors, and you will take up the reign of assisting those that have requested it for their own spiritual upliftment as well. As I say, you will be their UFOs. Some of the other civilizations in this grouping will be those who will assist and aid you in welcoming you to the galactic neighborhood. Even though there will be open contact on your planet prior to the encounters we are talking about in these star systems, these civilizations, some of them, will be waiting for you, have been alerted to your presence, and will be happy to guide you into the other star systems, to familiarize you with your local neighborhood. So imagine now, in your mind's eye, you on ships leaving Earth, stretching out into the stars, even as you may depict in some of your own science fiction movies. And imagine yourself visiting these worlds, learning of new cultures, being shown of the wonders and the marvels that exist, not only in these systems, but in the gulfs between the stars, things you have not even conceived of. One day, your civilization will be shown a gigantic crystalline repository of knowledge that exists as its own moon, made completely of grown crystal from the inside out. A gigantic crystal floating in space. You will be shown life forms that move in between the dimensions and leave trails of energy that define the barriers and borders and veils between those dimensions. You will be shown planetary systems of unimaginable complexity. Planets in multiple orbits, moons in multiple orbits, designed as pieces of art by civilizations you will not meet for 1,000 years. You will be shown many things. I also remind you of the attitude you will take to the stars by reminding you of a story we once told. The story of a starship traveling from civilization to civilization, very advanced, trading, communicating, sharing with every civilization. And one day, one member of one civilization speaks to the captain of the great starship and says, "You must be very powerful. Your civilization must have abilities beyond our understanding." And the captain thinks a moment and says, "We are powerful. Our ships could boil your oceans in a second, could lay waste to the entire surface of your planet in the blink of an eye, could strip the atmosphere from your world and blow it into space. Oh, the being said, that is very powerful. No, said the captain, that is not our power. The fact that we would never do such a thing, that is how powerful we are. Remember, that power, that is the greatest power in all of creation, requires the lightest touch. And that which seeks to force its power on others is actually saying it is powerless. With this knowledge, can you not only go to the stars? With this knowledge, can you not only go to the stars, but with this knowledge, you can transform your world.